Okay, we are looking at decimals, fractions, and story problems, Bridges Math 4th grade, and we may want to just start by reviewing place value of numbers. So if you had this number right here, what is the place value of each of these? And some of them you learned very early, probably in elementary school. For example, the 3 is in the ones place. You probably learned these in again, early elementary as well. Do you know this place value and this place value? The 7 is in tens place and the 5 is in the hundreds place. But what happens when you go past the decimal point? Well, this place here would be your tens place, and please make sure you notice the THS there. And moving on to the 4, that is the hundredths place. And again, do not get it confused by looking at the end of that and noticing what's different. So here, now that you know that, this number 1 should be pretty simple. What is the 1 in 3 and 17 hundredths? Well, that is the tens place. So write all of those in and just be aware that you could use these more than once. So don't cross them off when you're done with one of them. Then down here, can you write these decimals? Just be aware that the and is going to be where your decimal goes. So to the left of that is your whole number. Then the decimal point, like that. And now 7 hundredths. This is one that's trying to trick you. Where is the hundredths place? Well, that's where the 7 hundredths goes. So be sure you're aware of that. Then down here we're writing fractions or mixed numbers as decimals. So again, I think you can probably do most of these on your own. Just be aware that if you have a whole number like in B, that will be your whole number, then the decimal. And then how would you write 5 hundredths as a decimal number? And again, that's one they're trying to trick you. 5 hundredths goes in the 5 goes in the hundredths place, so be aware of that. And then I think you can do most of those on your own. Here we're comparing, okay? And what you need to do is look at each place value to compare. So if I look first at the ones place for A, same. Then I'm looking at the tens place, and there are more tenths over here. You could also draw these like we've done before, and it's clear that that is larger. Okay, same thing over here. You could either draw a picture or you could just compare. Okay, ones place, same. Let's look at the tens place. 5 versus 4. Okay, what's bigger in the tens place? That's going to be your larger number. Or just look at the drawing here that I did, and you can see what's going to be what. Okay, moving on, we have these charts. I think you'll get these pretty quickly. You're just looking at comparable fractions or equivalent fractions. So this, we have 9 tenths colored in, and we know that 9 tenths, if you do every single square here and count them up, how many would you have? Well, you're going to have 90. So you should be able to get those pretty simply. Then some stories. Let's go. Okay, and I've given you a reminder of these American coins. Quarters are 25, dimes are 10, nickels are 5. Ray went home with his cousin Jewel after school, and they're taking the city bus. It costs $1.65 to ride the bus. He has 5 quarters and a dime and 3 nickels. So how much more money does he need to ride the bus? Well, you've got to add those up and multiply them. So 5 times 25. With quarters, he's going to have 5 times 25. Can you do that? If you can do it in your head, but if you can't, you can draw an open array. But whatever 5 times 25 is, I'll give you a hint, it's going to be $1 and something. 1 dime, that's easy. And then 3 nickels, 3 times 5, and you can figure out how much money he has. Then the question is, how much more money does he need to ride the bus? So then you need to do, if it costs $1.65, how much money does he have? And you need to subtract to figure out how much he needs. And then Ray and Jewel together, what would that be? Well, it's going to cost both of them that much money. So you can either add or multiply to figure out what they need together. All right, now Ray decided to walk. Okay, so he's going to and from school, and he goes 1.7 miles, so it's both ways is 1.7. So simply add those up, make sure your decimal points are lined up. That's how far he goes each day. But then, once you get that number, I gave you a hint, it's going to be 3 point something. How does he go in 5 days? So you need to multiply that. It's going to be a little bit more than 15, right? Because 3 times 5 is 15. So if you don't want to multiply decimals, you can simply just add that mystery number 5 times and get the answer, but that's how far he'll go in 1 week. Thank you, and everybody